here from Housemate of Marital Glue, and I'm here today to just share a quick video of how I print out my rainbow planner pages from a bowl full of lemons, which I will link below if you're wondering what the heck that means. And I customize it to my needs. And just to preface this, I took Toni from a bowl full of lemons like daily page, I think, and I made it my own with permission from her, but I in no way can distribute that. So if you like this, you'll either have to make it yourself or find something similar. But with that said, I've had people email me wondering how I print these, how I print them in the way I like with different things on different sides. Like I have an action list at the start where I keep track of like things I want to do throughout the week. And I fill this out the week prior when I'm thinking like, okay, next week I need to do this and next week I need to do that. I write it all here so that when I go to plan for the week on my individual pages, I know what things I need to do. And I split my days up. I nanny during the week, so I have things I'm going to do while I'm nannying with the kids, things I'm going to do during nap time and quiet time, like for my own sake, things I need to get done like for my photography business or for my YouTube channel or for a blog. And then things I need to do at home or like on my way home, errands I need to run. I have planning things I need to do like in the morning and the night, things that I need to do each day, reminders, and then our meal plan. And my husband's schedule, so I know what hours he's working. And I have more detailed description of all this stuff in my separate video and blog post, which I'll link below. But this particular video is just going to cover how I actually go and print and cut these to have consistency. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be showing you on my computer. I don't know how to do screen caps, like video screen caps, I guess you would say, so sorry it's going to look kind of weird, but that's the best way I know to show you guys how I actually go in and print and what exactly I'm printing. Okay, so like I said, I apologize for the lines across the screen, but I don't know a better way to do this, and I don't even know if you can see what I have on here. But what I'm trying to show you on here is this page, the action list, and this is from the tasks mini kit for the A5 size, because that's the kind of Filofax I have. And that's what I print out on one side. So I print one of those for the week, but I actually do this in bulk, so I'll print like 20 of those. And then on the back side, I will print my daily calendar. And I'm sorry about the dogs. I'm just trying to do this video quick so that I can help people. So this is my daily page that I customized, and I print that double-sided, so it's on each side here. Like I have here, I print it on two sides, and then I print it. After I printed these action lists out, I print that on the back side. And I will show you what these look like when I actually print and how I print. I forgot to say that this is the daily calendar rainbow planner, which I think was free in a certain group or something. I don't even know where you find it now, but I'll try to find it and put the link below. But this is what I use to I brought into Photoshop and made into this, if you're interested. This has times, it has a sticky section, it has water glasses to mark how much water you've drank throughout the day, it has a what to eat section, a need to buy section, and a to-do list. So if you're interested in that, I'll try to find the link, but that's the one I customized to make my own. Okay, so now when I go to print, I hope you can see this. We have a laser color printer, so we can do kind of fancier things with it, but really to print these, it's really easy because Toni from a bowl full of lemons already made them PDFs, and you want to print them to size. So I make sure under size options, I pick actual size, because you don't want your printer and your computer to think that it needs to be stretched out to the whole page, because you want it to fit in your planner. And mine's an A5 size, but I'm printing on 8.5 by 11 sheet, so I want to make sure that it prints in the middle, so that when I print double-sided, everything prints in the middle. So you want everything to be perfectly back to back, and then you don't want it to mess with any of the dimensions or anything. Other than that, that's really all I do. So I print however many weeks I'm doing. Let's say I'm doing 15 weeks. I would print 15 of my action list, and then I'll show you what I do with the rest. Okay, so here's what it looks like after just coming out of my printer. It's in the middle of the page and it's perfectly centered and the perfect size for my planner because I told it to be the actual size that it's designed to print, not to fit and for the computer to mess with the dimensions. I also should add, make sure if you're doing this from a collection of pages, like I was doing this from a Tasks mini kit, there were lots of other pages. This is the first page in the kit, so I should have said just print page 1, because now it printed out all the pages, which I don't need. But now I'm going to show you how I actually do double-sided, and I have to do this by hand. So let's say I had a big stack of these action list pages. What I would do is take them all the same direction, make sure they're all lined up and everything. And for my printer, and keep in mind that all printers are different, so you're going to have to figure out how to print double-sided on your printer. But for mine, I just open it up and I want to make sure, because it comes out downwards, that I have it flipped upside down, and then I would put them all in this direction so that all of them have the exact same thing on the back. And now that I've printed the action list page and flipped it over in my printer, I'm now going to print the daily tasks page on the other side, because you see how it's one's on one side, one's on the other. It doesn't matter which one you do first, because it's going to depend on where it sits in my planner based on where I put the hole punches. But this is what I want to put on the other side, so that's what I'm printing right now. And if I did 15 of those and put them all in my printer, I would now print 15 of these on the back so that they're perfectly the way I want them, with 15 action lists with 15 daily sheets on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and print this actual size. This is the only page in my PDF, so I don't need to worry about picking the page, but I'm going to print out however many of those as I did of my action list. Okay, so this is what it looks like now with the daily page on one side and the action list on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is print out 3 double-sided daily sheets so that I have this. One for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But the Sunday page is different because it would have this page on one side and then you flip it with the action sheet on the other side. So I'm going to now print 3 double-sided daily to-do sheets the same way. So just print out 3 and then flip them all over and then print out 3 of the same exact thing on the other side. So before I cut them, I just want to show you exactly what I have. So this is what my week looks like. I have Sunday from the week before on the back, and then here I would have my action sheet, and then this is how it would look in my planner. So then I would have Monday, flip it over, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday would be the next week starting over. Sunday with the action sheet on the back. But I'm just showing you one week and what that looks like. So it says every single day except the Sunday of that week, but I have the Sunday before because that goes on the back of the next week, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to show you how to cut them, and I use this swing line paper cutter, and what I do is just keep a post-it note on here with the exact measurements of how to cut it so that it cuts out exactly how I want it with it centered. So so it ends up being, for A5, it's 5.75 inches by 8 1/4 inches. And so I start by lining up all my papers and then moving it to 7 1/2. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Okay, so with my papers all lined up in a stack, I'm going to put them at 7 and I think that's 1/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 1/8. So it's one line past 7, and look at how that lines up with the blade. It's going to just be perfect. So I'm going to cut that. So now they look like this with just this right side cut off, and on the back they look like this with the left side cut off. And now my paper says to move it to 5.75. So I will show you what that looks like. So 5.75 is from the other side, so I have to flip it over. so that I'm cutting off the opposite side, and I bring it to 5 3/4. So the second line from the middle, or the second line from the next inch, that's 6. And you can see how it looks like it'll be perfectly centered. So now it looks like this, so that on the left and the right side, it's centered on both sides. So now we just have to deal with cutting off the top and the bottom. So for cutting off the top, we are going to go to 9.625, and I will show you what that looks like. So I've swung it to the side, and I'm now going to cut off the top by going 5/8 over 9 inches. And that, as you can see, will cut off just the top. So now it looks like this, with a little bit left on the bottom on both sides. So what I'm going to do now is flip it around and bring it to 8 1/4. So here's 8, and I'm going to go right at 1/4, 8 1/4. And as you can see, it's just going to chop off the bottom. So now I have my pages perfectly cut, perfectly centered, all the same size, and I get them uniform by using these measurements. So if you want to write these down, if you have an A5 size planner and you're printing things centered, these are the dimensions you want to use. And if you have a paper cutter that goes by 8ths, that would work the best, because that's what my measurements are by. Okay, so the very last step is to punch your holes, and to make sure you punch them in the correct order. So I use this paper punch called Paper Punch PU462. I got it online overseas, I think from China or Japan, some market on there, and I will link it below. But it's really cool because it's adjustable to all different sizes. So you can print, or you can cut or punch A5, whatever that is. I think like the personal size and the pocket size Filofaxes, it works for all of them, and you just adjust it. I have it at the biggest right now for A5, and I want to make sure that all of my papers are in the right order. So like I said, the first page is always Sunday, because then I want to open it up and have this at the start of my week right next to Monday. So I want to make sure this is in the right, it's not like this, because then it would go action list Sunday, and that's not how I want it. I want my action list like this on this side of my my 6 punches, my 6 rings, and then I can fold it onto here, and these are all the same, so it really doesn't matter what way they go. So now I have all my pages stacked up, and I have them in the hole puncher. It's hard because there's no perfect guide for this, but I usually just feel with my fingers to make sure they're even and pushed in all the way. And then I just push down, and they are perfectly punched and ready to go in my Filofax. And this is, like I said, this is 1 week of pages, how I have it set up in my A5. So now I can just go to my Filofax, put my newly printed sheets in, close the clasps, and let's look and see if it worked. So here's Sunday, my action list for the new week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday always goes with the new week because it's on the back of an action page. So I hope this helped you. I know it's very specific to my way of doing it, but I think this can help if you have problems printing and cutting your pages to be perfectly the right size if they're centered on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. If you have any questions, I know this was kind of scattered and fast because I was trying to get this done with the dogs needing to eat and everything. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll answer them in the comments section, or I might film a new video if this was totally confusing. But thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.